First Chronicles chapter 4, verse 1. The descendants of Judah were Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shobal. Verse 2. Shobal's son, Reah, was the father of Jahath. Jahath was the father of Ahumah and Lahad. These were the families of the Zorathites. Verse 3. The descendants of Ethan were Jezreel, Ishma, Idbash, their sister Hazroponi. Verse 4. Penuel, the father of Gidel, and Ezer, the father of Hushah. These were the descendants of Hur, the firstborn of Ephrathah, the ancestor of Bethlehem. Verse 5. Ashur, the father of Tekoa, had 2 wives, named Helah and Nara. Verse 6. Nara gave birth to Ahuzam, Hefer, Temini, and Hahashtari. Verse 7. Helah gave birth to Zereth, Ishar, Etnan. Verse 8. And Koz, who became the ancestor of Anu, Zobibah, and all the families of Ahahel, son of Haram. Verse 9. There was a man named Jabez, who was more honorable than any of his brothers. His mother named him Jabez because his birth had been so painful. Verse 10. He was the one who prayed to the God of Israel, "Oh, that you would bless me and expand my territory. Please be with me in all that I do, and keep me from all trouble and pain." And God granted him his request. Verse 11. Kilob, the brother of Hushah, was the father of Mehi. Mehi was the father of Eshton. Verse 12. Eshton was the father of Beth Rapha, Palsia, and Tahina. Tahina was the father of El-Nashah. These were the descendants of Rechah. Verse 13. The sons of Kenaz were Othniel, Sarai, and Sariah. Othniel's sons were Hahathat and Meonotai. Verse 14. Meonotai was the father of Ophrah. Sariah was the father of Joab, the founder of the Valley of Craftsmen, so called because they were craftsmen. Verse 15. The sons of Caleb, son of Jephunneh, were Elah, and Nam. The son of Elah was Kenaz. Verse 16. The sons of Jahaleel were Ziphah, Thera, and Asari. Verse 17. The sons of Ezra were Jether, Mered, Epher, and Jalon. One of Mered's wives became the mother of Miriam, Shammai, and Ishbah, the father of Eshtemoa. Verse 18. He married a woman from Judah, who became the mother of Jared, the father of Gidel, Heber the father of Soko, and Jekuthel the father of Zanoah. Mered also married Bethia, the daughter of Pharaoh, and she bore him children. Verse 19. Hodiah's wife was the sister of Naham. One of her sons was the father of Keilah and Gameth, and another was the father of Eshtemoa, the Maacathites. Verse 20. The sons of Shimon were Ammon, Rena, Ben-Hanan, and Telon. The descendants of Ishi were Zoheth and Ben-Zoheth. Verse 21. Shelah was one of Judah's sons. The descendants of Shelah were the father of Lekah, Lada, the father of Marishah, and the families of linen workers at Beth Ashbea. Verse 22. Joachim, the men of Kozibah, and Joash, and Saraph, who ruled over Moab and Jeshhobi-Lehem. These names all come from ancient records. Verse 23. They were the pottery makers who lived in Nathan and Gadira. They lived there and worked for the king. Verse 24. The sons of Simeon were Jemuel, Jalmi, Gareb, Zohar, and Shaul. Verse 25. The descendants of Shaul were Shalom, Mibsam, and Mishma. Verse 26. The descendants of Mishma were Hamuel, Zakor, and Shimei. Verse 27. Shimei had 16 sons and 6 daughters, but none of his brothers had large families, so Simeon's tribe never grew as large as the tribe of Judah. Verse 28. They lived in Beersheba, Moladah, Hazor Shur. Verse 29. Bilhah, Ezem, Tolad. Verse 30. Beth Noor, Homa, and Ziklag. Verse 31. Beth Marcaboth, Hazor Susim, Beth Biri, and Sharim. These towns were under their control until the time of King David. Verse 32. Their descendants also lived in Ethan, In, Ramon, Thukim, and Ashan, 5 towns. Verse 33. And their surrounding villages as far away as Boleth. This was their territory, and these names are listed in their genealogical records. Verse 34. Other descendants of Simeon included Meshobab, Jamlech, Joshua, son of Amaziah. Verse 35. Joel, Jehu, son of Joshibai, son of Seraiah, son of Asiel. Verse 36. Alionai, Jacobah, Jeshoiah, Asaiah, Adhiel, Jesimiel, Benaiah. Verse 37. And Ziza, son of Shiphi, son of Alon, son of Jedidiah, son of Shimri, son of Shemaiah. Verse 38. These were the names of some of the leaders of Simeon's wealthy clans. Their families grew. Verse 39. And they traveled to the region of Gerar, in the east part of the valley, seeking pasture land and for their flocks. Verse 40. They found large pastures there, and the land was spacious, quiet, and peaceful. Some of Ham's descendants had been living in that region. Verse 41. But during the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah, these leaders of Simeon invaded the region and completely destroyed the homes of the descendants of Ham and the Meunites. No trace of them remains today. They killed everyone who lived there and took the land for themselves, because they wanted its good pasture land for their flocks. Verse 42. 500 of these invaders from the tribe of Simeon went to Mount Seir, led by Pelithiah, Neerah, Raphiah, and Uzziel, all sons of Ishi. Verse 43. They destroyed the few Amalekites who had survived, and they have lived there ever since. Amen.